You showed up soft like even rain, with nothing loud, with nothing planned. Your hands were calm, your voice was low, and still I knew you'd help me grow. We never rushed, we took our time, we found the rhyme between the lines. You never asked for anything, just stayed and let the quiet. I used to think love had to shine like neon lights, a grand design, but you just smiled and passed me tea, and suddenly it felt like peace. We didn't fall, we learned to live, we let the space stay in between, and in that space we came alive and found a place where we could thrive. You love me in the softest way, with eyes that speak and hands that stay. I never thought I'd feel this numb, without a word, without a tone. You hold me in a world so still, and show me how the quiet heals. You turn each moment into gold, just by being someone I can hold. We don't need noise, we don't need scenes, just you and me and the breath between. You laugh at things that no one hears, and in your laugh the world feels near. You read the books I never touched and tell me why they meant so much. I start to hum, you harmonize. We lose the hour, we lose the night. It's nothing epic, nothing new, but I've never loved this way with truth. You don't complete me, you just see the parts I hid so carefully, and in your gaze they feel like light. Not wrong, just real, just finally right. We plan our day like seeds in soil, with no big rush, with no big toil, and somehow love just takes its place. A quiet joy, a gentle grace. You love me in the softest way, not with a script but day by day. I never thought I'd feel so found until your voice became my ground. You hold me like the world is kind, like nothing's wrong, we couldn't find a way to face with open palms, and hearts that beat like settling songs. You don't need to rescue me, you just choose to stay. In the mornings when I'm silent, and the nights I drift away, and somehow that becomes enough. Not perfect, loud or new, just someone who remembers me when I forget me too. You love me in the softest way, no promises, no plans to say, just steady warmth and eyes that see the very best and worst in me. You hold me like a whispered vow, like love is something real somehow, and all I need to be okay is knowing you choose to stay. Can you hear me now? You always do. When dawn breaks I wake to you, a soft light dancing on your face. No need for words, your eyes say all. This quiet peace, this gentle space. Your fingers trace a path to mine, in every breath and every sigh. Our hearts speak louder than the world, when love is born and shared quiet. I never thought I'd feel this way, so grounded in a simple day. We don't need fireworks or gold, just the warmth we quietly hold. If tomorrow is uncertain, let me stay here in the certainty. Don't leave before the dawn, stay close, remain my only. Close enough to miss your laughter, echoes in my bones. If time could slow its steady beat, I'd hold on tight, never let go. Close enough to ache, to feel your heartbeat next to mine. We're floating in a moment where your head is perfectly aligned. Just you and me in this quiet harmony. Let every hush remind us of the beauty in what's unseen. We shared a hush of midnight air, we share the warmth of early dawn. Small glances, secret smiles, the space between becomes a song. Your presence fills all empty rooms, your voice a gentle lullaby. And with each breath I find my home inside the love reflected in your eyes. We don't need perfect stories, we just living honest truths. No grand illusion choir, just two souls in gentle youth. You lean into my silence, I lean into your calm. In this place where nothing more is needed but your heart's palm. Close enough to miss, to feel your pulse, the beats beneath. We hover on the edge of touch, where love dissolves in simple peace. Close enough to dream, where spoken words are left behind. This bond beyond all distance wraps me safe within your mind. To love someone so purely feels like breathing in pure light. No fear of losing, no sharp regret, just comfort in your skin tonight. And memories are all we keep. I'll treasure every whispered sigh, hold you in the quiet glow, where love won't fade nor say goodbye. Close enough to miss, I take the ache if it means you're near. So let me fall into this love, let us lose all traces of fear. Close enough to dream, with nothing left to prove. I'll stay here in your soft embrace, where hearts lean into truth. Can you hear me now? Close enough to miss. You breathe beside me slow and clear. The world fades out when you are near. No need for noise, your silence speaks. I hear your heart with every beat. Your hand a promise wrapped in skin. The way you hold me pulls me in. I trace the lines beneath your touch and realize I've never needed much. The light through the window spills like morning made just for us. We laugh about the little things and time forgets to run. I never asked for perfect, but you gave me peace instead. So if forever starts right now, I won't look back again. So close, so still, I feel you move without a sound, like gravity that holds me here with both feet off the ground. So warm, so real, you turn the ordinary gold. With every breath I know I'm safe inside the hand I hold. Stay with me in the hush of morning light. Every moment feels like more when you're sleeping by my side. You're talking dreams, a quiet home. I count the seconds, then become the space I let you breathe and slow. The part of you that needs to grow. You don't chase after something loud. We stay beneath the noisy clouds, and there inside our quiet world, you are the only truth I've heard. You look at me like I'm not someone you expect to change. We share a kind of easy trust where nothing has to rearrange. And if the world forgets us, we'll build a place that shines with gentle hearts and honest eyes and lips that read like light. So close, so still, I never thought love felt like this. Not fire, not flood, just steady hands that hold me in their bliss. So warm, so real, you color in the cracks I miss. With you I breathe. It's not the grand confessions, it's not the stars above. It's breakfast talks and brushing teeth, it's quiet kinds of love. And every time you look at me with that small tired smile, I swear I'd live this life again just to love you for a while. So close, so still, if this is all we ever know, then let me stay inside this day and never need to go. So warm, so real, you've made my world feel true. With everything we did and say, you show me what love can do. Can you hear me now? I'm right here next to you. You don't wake me with grand lines, just coffee brewing morning light. You hum a tune I don't know what, but it makes the kitchen feel like us. You brush your hand across my back, and suddenly the world's intact. No declarations, no big moves, just quiet ways you show the truth. We don't need candles, don't need plans, just your touch and where we stand. You make the ordinary sweet, you make the silence feel complete. No need for roses at my door, I never ask for something more than all the ways you simply stay through every minute, every day. You love me in the quiet kind, where every glance is well defined. You don't perform, you just exist and turn the air to gentleness. You keep the noise away from me and hold my breath so tenderly. This isn't loud, it doesn't scream, but it's the heart of every dream. Don't change a thing, I like the way you breathe. Just being close is everything I need. You fold the blankets like it's care, you tie your shoes, I stop and stare. You never try to write a verse, but every move becomes my first. My favorite part of every song is how your rhythm leads me on. I never knew that love could be this quiet, strong simplicity. You never asked me to explain, you understand me in the rain. You see the way I shut down fast and know the moment till it lasts. We don't need volume to feel full, we don't need stories to be told. We only need the space we share to find that love is all. Love me in the quiet kind, with peace and presence intertwined. No sudden lines or perfect scripts, just steady days and softened lips. You take the chaos out of me and make the hours slow and free. This isn't loud, it doesn't shine, but it's the love I call mine. You don't arrive with flags and flames, you come with hands that know my name. You don't pretend to always know, but somehow help the answers grow. And when the sky begins to fall, you don't retreat, you simply call my name like it's the only sound, and that alone can hold the ground. You love me in the quiet kind, when nothing breaks and hearts align. You never push, you never pull, just love me till I feel full. And if the world forgets our names, you'll still be here and just the same. And in the hush of every night, you'll be my steady kind of love. Can you hear me now? I know you can. When you're near, the night feels calm. No need to speak, I hear it all. Your voice wraps around my chest like a warmth I can't forget. The silence pulls us even close. In quiet ways our feelings grow. You breathe and I can feel the shift. The world begins with just a kiss. I never saw it coming, this quiet kind of love, where every look is louder than any words we've ever said. The minutes stretch like stardust, each one a soft caress. If time could hold this moment, don't go just yet. Stay close. Close enough to miss your eyes, say more than anything I know. If I could melt into you like this, I'd fall so slow, so low. Close enough to ache, to feel your heartbeat under skin. We're lost inside a whisper, where everything begins. Just you and me, and the silence in between. We don't need the word to see what's written in between the beats. You're here, but I keep reaching like love grows in the space between one breath and the next. I fall deeper with each phrase. Your laugh, a little melody, your touch, a kind of prayer. And though you never say too much, I feel you everywhere. We never need the answers, we just need what is real. No words could ever say it, but I know just what you feel. You lean a little closer, and I forget the rest. This love is in the moment where we both can simply close enough to miss, we stop just short of touching every time. And still this moment holds it all. I'm yours and you are mine. Close enough to burn, but gentle like a breeze. This love is built in silence and held between our knees. Just how much I care. Can stand the thought you won't be there. Each mile you give, it pulls me in, and I dissolve again. If this is all we ever are, this breath, this light, this place, then let me keep this moment etched across your face. Close enough to miss, I take the ache if it means you stay. So let me fall into this love. Let it just fade that way. Close enough to dream with nothing more to prove. I'll meet you in the stillness where hearts forget to move. Can you hear me now? Close enough to miss. You breathe so soft beside my chest, like every hour has been blessed. You turn the night from sharp to slow and let the quiet overflow. Your fingers curl, your eyelids fall. You don't say much, you say it all. Just being here, your sleeping form has made the coldest spaces warm. You don't know what you give away while dreams begin to drift and stay. You hold the world in fragile grace, without a word, without a chase. I'll watch the rise and fall you keep, and find my calm inside your sleep. It's not a spell, it's not a sign, just proof that peace can still be mine. Even when you close your eyes, you hold me like the quiet sky. You don't protect with walls or sound, you simply stay and keep me found. And in that hush between your breaths, I learn to live inside the depths of love that doesn't try too much, but still restores with every touch. Stay asleep, don't wait for me. You're more than words, you're gravity. The cloud moves slow, the moon is kind. Your dreams are things I'll never find, but even I know where you go. I feel the warmth in every glow. You shift, you sigh, you don't let go. You tether me when winds will blow. You dream and though I'm wide awake, I rest in all the love you make. You never promised to be here, you just remain and come to feel. You never ask what I believe, but offer light when I can't see. And in the stillness that you breathe, you give me every chance to be the kind of heart that doesn't break, but simply bends and learns to wait. Even when you close your eyes, you wrap me in a love that lies, not in the words or vows you make, but in the quiets we don't fake. You don't perform, you don't defend, you rest and still my soul begins to find the part of me that's safe, just by the rhythm that you gave. Someone made of light, who's found a way to make things right, without a plan, with an intent, showing what your presence meant. You let the dark become a friend, you let the long nights start to mend. And though you don't know what I see, I find my home in who you be. Even when you close your eyes, you bring the calm I can't disguise. You make the silence feel like grace, you give the night a softer face. You don't defend, you don't define, you simply rest and still you shine. And in the sleep you give to me a love that asks for nothing free. Can you hear me now? Maybe even in your sleep. You walked in like a quiet change, no thunderstruck, no wild exchange, but little thing began to shift, the way I spoke, the air I missed. You made the morning feel like gold, the coffee warm, the silence bold, and suddenly the world was clear, because somehow you were here. It wasn't in the grand hello, but in the way you didn't go. You stayed through all the in-betweens, through tangled thoughts and silent scenes. You told me love could take its time, could sit in corners still and kind. And just like that, the walls fell down, and joy began to make a sound. I didn't know that love was this time, the hand that fits a breath, a kiss, the fireworks, the stormy skies, my feelings seen in daily. Found me where I least believed, and held me till I could receive this gentle truth I pushed away, that love could simply choose to stay. Oh, oh. Don't let go, even when it's quiet here. Sometimes peace can feel like fear, but I know you're near. You learn the map of all the highs, didn't ask you stay beside. You knew words would only bruise, and often silence I could use. You built a world I didn't bend, each time I couldn't comprehend that someone might just want my whole and love the quiet and I control. My hand but not too tight, you give me space and still feel right. You smile when I forget to try and kiss the corners of my crown. You never said that this was fate, you just showed up and you stayed late. And now I know that this is love, not just enough, but more than enough. I didn't know that love was this, the quiet strength I used to miss, not chasing highs or fixing lows, but knowing when to just let go. You found me where I fell apart, and held the outline of my heart, until it slowly learned to beat to rhythm soft and incomplete. Oh, 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 oh. somehow now I understand. I didn't know that love was this, a breath that lives without a miss, a home that waits without a word, a truth too gentle to be heard. Found me in the quiet air and made me brave enough to care. Now I see it every day. Your love has never walked away. Can you hear me now? You always could. We don't talk in perfect lines. We move 2 days in crooked time. You bring the quiet when I shake. You never ask what I can't take. You smile like it's the first I've seen. You hold my gaze like something clean. And in the calm between your steps, you teach me how to take my breath. Not everything has to be said. You hear the noise I keep instead. You rest your hand without a word, and somehow that becomes my world. You let the silence be enough. You never call my silence bluff. And in that space I start to bloom. Not forced, just gently giving room. You love me past what I can say. Through all the things I throw away, you stay inside the unsaid part and understand my quiet heart. You never rush, you never pry. You meet me where I leave the sky. And though my voice may miss the mark, you see me clearly in the dark. Just listen. You already know what I can't find. You let it show. You trace the rhythms I don't know. You hum them back and let them grow. You don't rewrite the parts I skip. You memorize them, let them sit. I stumble through 1,000 stars. You stitch them in a softer parts. And every time I fall apart, you hold me closer to my heart. You don't require reasons why. You never ask for cleaner lines. You watch the clouds and know my rain and give me hands to hold my name. You don't rebuild or take away. You plant your roots and choose to stay. And through that soul I start to see a version of us safe for me. You love me past what I can show. In places I don't even know. You find the edge I try to hide and trace it back to what's inside. You never leave, you never fear. Keeping your truth and keep it near. You hold the words I lost before and turn them into something more. You speak in ways the wind will learn, and pauses only ours discern. You let me come undone and rest and trust I'll find what fits me best. And in that gift of steady air, I find a way to truly care. Not rush, not loud, not always clear, but always known when you are near. You love me past what I can give, and show me how to softly live. You stay where others try to fix. You stay through every broken mix, and in the quiet you defend. You let me find the voice I sent, and now because of all we've done, I know I'm not the only one. Can you hear me now? You always could. We don't talk about forever, but you pour the tea like we got time. You and your car right next to mine, like you've already decided to stay. No promises, no heavy words, just quiet acts I've always heard. You turn the lights off when I do, you let the future feel like truth. We walk the same side of the street, you match your pace to what I need. You ask me what I want to eat, somehow that feels like believe. We don't make plans too far ahead, but I sleep easy in your bed. And every moment we don't rush reminds me that I can trust. You build the days like they can trust. You build the days like stepping stones, and let me know I'm not alone. You don't map out the perfect way, but you show up for every day. You make the future soft and clear, without a speech, without a fear. You never say what might go wrong, you just stay steady all along. Don't need a vow, don't need a ring, just say you'll be here in the spring. You remember what I said last week about the plan I wanna keep. You bring it home and set it near, like love is something we grow here. You fold the list, we made it half, and laugh at things that make me laugh. You don't insist, we always know, but you let feelings gently show. You clean your shoes before you come, like home's a place you're always from. You hold the door like it's a gift, and let me rest when I can't live. You call me just to check the sky, you point at birds as they fly by, and I believe in what we made, because you give more than you take. You build the days like stepping stones, and fill them in with quiet tones. You don't explain the grand design, but you keep showing all the signs. You make the future feel like light that glows behind my closed-up sight. You never ask for me to change, you just hold space and rearrange. You talk about the seasons still to come, like we'll be there to see each one. You ask if I still love the rain, and I say yes again, again. And even if the roads divide, I'll always keep you by my side. Not by force or desperate claim, but by the way you say mine. You build the days like stepping stones, and let me build with you alone. You don't pretend to know what's next, you just love now and all the rest. And in that quiet, grounded way, you make me wanna choose to stay. Not just for now, for a year, but for as long as you are near. Can you hear me now? I'll still be here. Oh, yeah. You didn't light me like a flame, you came and soft, you stayed the same. No sudden rush, no crashing sea, just gentle stay of love in me. We never needed fireworks, just quiet smiles and honest words. And in that calm I came alive, for once I didn't have to stray. You let me be a little lost, you never asked me what it cost to show you parts I never shared, to let you hold me when I'm scared. And through the stillness I could see how love was meant to carry me. Not fix or change or pull apart, just rest inside my weathered heart. You didn't save me, didn't try, you just stood still and in my eyes. This is the kind of love that speaks without a wall. You know I flinch when voices rise. You soften yours, you don't disguise. The way you watch, the way you learn, the patience in the way you turn. You turn to fit around my knees, the way you water all my seeds. Not pushing me to bloom too soon, just sitting with me under the moon. You hold my flaws like folding notes, not judging lines I never wrote. You hum the song I didn't write and sing it back until it's right. And even when I turn away, you ain't the same, you never sway. And in that stillness I could trust, then nothing here will break from us. You didn't save me, didn't shine. You stay beneath my fading light. You didn't fix me, didn't run. You met me where I'd come undone. And in that soft unspoken grace, you gave my shadows quiet space to stretch, to breathe, to not defend, to finally begin again. You love me like a steady wind, not here to start, not here to end. You didn't chase or try to claim. You whisper love without my name, and somehow in that quiet tone I found a place that feels like home. No louder than a whispered prayer, but louder than the world out there. You didn't save me, didn't try. You gave me room to breathe and cry. You stood beside the mess I made and never once asked me to change. You love me like the sky loves stars, no matter how near or far. And every day is still the same. Your love without a need for fame. Can you hear me now? You never stop. You say my name and it feels like spring, like every small thing starts to sing. You brush the hair out of my face and time slows down in your embrace. Hey, you make the light feel softer here. You turn the quiet into cheer. No need for dreams when you exist. This is what forever is. We're not chasing movie scenes, we're living in the in-betweens. Folded shirts and morning tea, your sleepy grin just for me. This kind of love, it doesn't shout, it lingers warm and wears no doubt. If this is what they meant by home, then I was lost before you came along. You feel me like a breath I held and didn't know I'd miss, like the part of every story that was waiting to exist. You made me where I never knew I needed to be seen. You hold the space that lets me be and love me in between. Just stay here in this little world we made. No need to speak, your silence said everything we've said. We leave the lights on late at night, talk about nothing, still feels right. Your laughter falls like drops of rain, I'd hear it over storms again. You know the way I like my tea, you hum the same off key as me. It's nothing grand, but it's so deep. This love we plan, this love we keep. It's in the way you wait for me, it's in the way you wait for me, without a rush, without a need. The way you notice when I fade and bring me back with no parade. You see the cracks and don't retreat. You sit with me and make me sweet. You never ask me to be more, just leave the door unlocked and warm. You feel me like a missing line in poems I used to write. prefer with softness as your guide. You don't perform affection, you just let it live inside. And I've never known a space that felt this much like grace. If this is love, then let it be this ordinary play. You feel me like a breath I held and didn't know I missed, like the part of every story that was waiting to exist. You meet me where I never knew I needed to be seen, and in your arms I finally know what's safe has always been. Can you hear me now? I'm already home. You don't ask me how I feel, you just sit and let it heal. You don't offer perfect lines, just your hand pressed into mine. You don't try to chase the dark, you just stay and light a spark. Not loud, not bright, not made to shine, but steady like a patient sign. You never push, you never pull, you let the silence just be full. And in the space I breathe again, not to be strong, just to begin. You rip the pauses like a page and never try to fix the stage. You stay where most would drift away, and that alone can shape my day. You don't need to say you care, you're in the room, you're simply there. You hold the space, you guard the peace, you let my overthinking cease. You're not the voice that fights the night, you're just the lamp with softest light. And every time I come undone, you stay until the storm is done. Oh, 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 oh. Stay until the storm is done. Don't talk, don't try, just breathe, just lie beside. You take the tea without the S, you do the small notice test. You listen with your body still, and somehow there becomes a will to face the mess, to stay upright, to make it through another night. Not by some speech or rescue plan, just by the way you understand. You never rush me out of fear, you never flinch when pain is near. You hold your calm like open arms and keep me safe from self-made harms. You don't define what love should be, you simply make it easy to see that being seen without a cause might be the thing I needed most. You don't need to say you're right, you're the reason sleep feels light. You're not the end, you're not the goal, you're just the pause that makes me whole. You never boast, you never try to be the one who lifts me high, but when I fall you don't retreat, you stay until I find my feet. Oh, 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 oh. Stay until I find my feet. You stay through all the empty days, you never flinch, you never sway. You walk beside the aching part and never ask me to restart. And in that quiet loyal breath, I feel the pull away from death. Not by rescue, not by speech, but by the love you never preach. You don't need to change the sky, you just hold me when I cry. You never tell me you'll be fine, you just show up and let it shine. And in that warmth I learned to stay, not hide, not run, not drift away. You love me like the world is still, and somehow that becomes my will. Can you hear me now? You always have. The room was gray before you came, the light was flat, the days the same. You didn't paint the sky in gold. You just arrived and made me fall into a space I didn't know, where soft things bloom and seasons grow. You didn't try to change my view, you just stood still and let it move. Your life and color filled the air. You blinked and shadows weren't there. You touched my sleeve and somehow spring returned without an unseen thing. I never asked the world for more, but then you smiled and doors became floor. The boundaries I used to see just vanished when you looked at me. You make the colors real to me, and in places I forgot to see. You bend the light in such a way that even storms feel soft today. You don't bring magic, don't pretend, but love begins where you extend. And every shade I try to miss turns vivid now because of this. Look around, this used to fade, but now it glows the way you stay. You close the curtain not too tight. You let in slivers of the light. You say my name like it belongs in every verse of softer songs. You don't make promises or plans. You just show up with empty hands, and in that still uncovered space the world begins to find its grace. You never asked me to believe. You let me stay and let me grieve. You don't correct my shades of blue. You just exist in every hue. And bit by bit the gray I wore begins to shift, to not be sore. And even pain, when held with you, starts looking like a light of truth. You make the colors real to me, from faded tones to clarity. You stretch the sky just by your gaze, and turn my corners into praise. You don't try hard to change the air, you just arrive and brightness stares. In every room I once dismissed now feels like somewhere I exist. You love like someone who has seen that joy and loss, both pain and green. You don't pretend to hold the sun, you just reflect it one by one. And in your light I start to learn that even shadows have their turn. And when you stay, they're not so loud, they're just another part of loud. You make the colors real to me, you show me what this life could be. Not brighter, better, loud or new, just touched in every part by you. You walk through life without a claim, and still the worry speaks my name. In every tone I used to miss, you bring the colors back like this. It's never gray again. You never asked about the scars, you never traced the broken parts. You just looked at me like home, like I was more than what I told. You never begged for history, you let me write new lines with ease. And every time I turned away, you softly asked me if I'd stay. You didn't try to fix the cracks, you didn't wish to take them back. You simply held what I revealed and waited there until I healed. You brought no cure, you brought no plan, just steady eyes and patient hands. And in the stillness you provided, I found the pain had been divided. You love the parts I try to hide, you never rushed, you never pried. You sat with me darkest days felt less untrue. Don't turn away, even if I seem far. I'm learning now just who we are. You asked me how I slept last night, not as a habit but a lie. You hold your words like open doors, not stepping in unless I'm sure. You know which songs I skip too fast. You know the weight behind my laugh. And though you never say you know, your presence tells me all I hold. You never ask me to be more, you never keep a running score. You leave a blanket on my chair, you fold the noise into the air. You don't require me to speak, you find the rhythm in my weak. And somehow all the things I feared feel softer now that you are here. You love the parts I try to lose, the ones I didn't get to choose. You calm me gently through the haze and help me move through shadow days. You hold my pain without a wince, you meet me at the present tense. And just like that I start to mend, not to be perfect, but to bend. You say my name like it's brand new, like nothing old still clings to you. You let me fail, you let me fall, but never let me feel too small. You meet me in the middle place between regret and gentle grace. And there I learn beneath your gaze how love can look 1,000 ways. You love the parts I try to break, you show me they would never fade. You kiss the stories I once feared and write new ones with hands sincerer. And in the quiet we create, I find the weight begins to fade. You never ask for something pure, but help me trust that love endures. Can you hear me now? I'm finally listening. We started out in quite a way, shared inside jokes and rainy days. You were the spark, you were the flame that lit the room without a name. We talked too late, we stayed too long, but never wondered if it's wrong. And somewhere in the steady tide, I fell for how you matched my ride. You didn't call it anything, just passed me tea and let me sing. You held the silence when I froze, you laughed at things nobody knows. And every time you sat too near, the noise around would disappear. You didn't ask, you didn't try, but somehow love was in reply. You never had to make it clear, but something changed when you stayed here. You never asked for more than this, but in the small I found my wish. We didn't fall, we simply grew through shared routines and honest truth. And now I see without a start, you quietly took out my heart. You were always there, I just didn't know that love can sound like laughter. We missed the lines where more begins. You touched my hand like gold is kin, but still it stirred beneath the skin. A kind of calm that felt like wind. You asked if I would stay for tea, and somehow that became the key. Not fireworks or stolen glance, just gentle room for love to dance. You knew me when I wasn't bright, you stayed through every faded light. You kept the hours soft and slow, you made the quiet start to glow. And though we never drew the map, we reached the point where I looked back and saw that all this time with you was building something strong and true. You never had to make a vow, you showed me love was here right now. You never changed, you never pressed, but gave me space and gave your best. We didn't name it when it came, we didn't play a lover's game, but now I know what we became. A kind of love that stays the same. Ooh, 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 ooh. said you'd always stay, but showed it in the day by day. You don't make promises to prove, you simply live and let me move. And in that truth I come to find a peace that doesn't need a sign. Just you and me, no grand reveal, just love that shows in how we feel. You never had to say it loud, but everything about you vowed that this was home and I could rest inside the arms that knew me best. And though it started as a friend, you love me past what words defend. And now I know without pretense, you've always been my difference. Can you hear me now? You always did. Some days I don't know what I need. I shift like wind, I barely speak. You don't react, you don't retreat. You wait for me in patient peace. You never ask me to explain. You never try to fix the rain. You simply stay, you let me move, and in that quiet I improve. You see the edges when I break, you catch the parts I try to fake. You don't pretend to have it right, but only softer through the night. You never say I understand, you only offer steady hands. And somehow in the silent grace I find a slightly safer place. You stay when I don't make much sense. You hold me close without defense. You don't require me to be sure. You simply stay and I endure. You don't respond to every doubt. You know when not to sort it out. And in the moments I withdraw, you give me space without a flaw. You don't ask why, you don't press in, you just allow, and let me begin. Some days I feel too much, too loud, too tangled in my inner crowd. You don't reduce me to a phrase, you let me be in shifting haze. You pass the tea without a word, you hum a tune I never heard. And in those acts that seem so small, you keep me standing through it all. You hold your love like open air, not something placed, just always there. You let me lean but not depend, you give the kind that doesn't end. You don't get tired of the tide, you just adjust and stay beside. And in that rhythm soft and wide, I find a trust I cannot hide. You stay when I can't stay with me. You see what I don't always see. You meet me where the questions live, and love me for what I can give. You don't demand I choose a way, you just remind me I can stay. And in that quiet even flood, you make the heavy feel less broad. You don't shine like something new, you glow in things I thought I knew. And when the room begins to spin, you're still the point I breathe within. You love me when I can't be neat, you love me messy, incomplete. And every time I drift away, you give me reason not to stray. You stay when I dissolve inside, you pull the storm without the tide. You don't repair, you don't replace, you hold the shape I can't erase. And then you come, I reappear, without the shame, without the fear. You don't need answers, you just know. And staying close is how I grow. Can you hear me now? You never You picked a playlist, not the best, but somehow it just fits the rest. The toast is burned, the coffee cold, but you still smile like all is gold. We miss the train, we take the walk, we stop too much, forget to talk. And in that quiet side by side, the world becomes a softer ride. You never planned the perfect scene, but life with you feels like a dream. Not made of stars or velvet skies, just open eyes and share replies. You don't make moments into more, you simply show me what they're for. And all the little things we do become my favorite shades of you. You turn the ordinary bright with nothing more than morning light. You make the slowest days feel new just by the way you move them through. You don't try to be the sun, you're just the warmth in everyone. And I've begun to see the way you color every average day. Don't rush, we've got enough. Just this, just us, and that's the stuff. You hum a tune while folding clothes, you leave your socks when no one knows. And still I laugh and still I stay, because I wouldn't want it any other way. You hold my hand when crossing streets, you guess the names of dogs we meet. You don't pretend, you don't rehearse, you just exist, and that's my verse. You never need a grand design, you build your love in subtle lines. I got your lunch, so rest a while, we're kissing me without a smile. And though the world may chase the loud, I'm happy in this quiet crowd where I can look and always find a U-shaped light, soft and kind. You turn the ordinary bright, you tuck the wrongs into the right. You let the slowest minutes breathe and turn the noise into reprieve. You don't perform, you don't pretend, you start and end just where you've been. And every time I lose my way, you got me back with nothing to say. You make the dullest weather sweet, you find a rhythm in my beat. You say we're fine and somehow it becomes a thing that always fits. You teach me joy without a cost, you show me how to hold what's lost. And in the mess we didn't plan, you're still the calmest kind of hand. You turn the ordinary bright, you write the verse I couldn't write. You make the softest colors shine, and make the quietest days feel mine. You don't try hard and that's the thing, you just show up in everything. Feels like the kind of life I choose, with you there's nothing else to lose. Can you hear me now? You've always been the sound. You take your time, you never race, you move like rhythm wrapped in grace. You don't rush in, you don't retreat, you make me slow, you make it sweet. You read the room, you're in my face, you know the pace, you keep the space. And in that quiet, careful lane, you water love like gentle rain. You never ask for more than now, you never chase the when or how. You let the clock keep spinning by, but never leave and never lie. And in that still extended breath, you show me love can outlast death. Now with a shout, but with a pause, you give me hope without a cause. You love me like the time is wide, like nothing's lost and nothing hides. You hold the days like open doors, you let the minutes just be yours. still. This kind of love, it moves by will. You stir your tea and watch the sky. You don't explain the reason why you let me talk or say no thing. And still I hear the peace you bring. You tie your shoes with thoughtful hands. You leave your print where silence stands. You don't predict, you don't demand. You just exist and understand. You let the song just play halfway. You smile when I forget the day. You sit beside without a task and somehow get all that I ask. You love me in the waiting hours. You show me trust without the towers. You stay not out of some design, but simply cause your soul says mine. You love me like the time is on, like no one's counting what we lost. You keep the present like a gift. You let the silence slowly live. And in the rhythm of your breath, I feel the moments take their depth. You don't outrun, you don't delay. You just arrive and choose to stay. You hold the future like it's near, but not a thing that we should fear. You know the past, you know it well, and still believe this can't be held. And when I falter, when I fall, you don't rush in, you hold it all. And that's the way I start to learn that love can last without a turn. You love me like that time is gone.